Shiver me timbers, what's that on the horizon? Is that a... No way. That's a brand new skill that's gonna get added into old school RuneScape. For those who don't know, the game has been out since 2013, but we've only had 23 skills to level up in the game. But now things are gonna change when the new skill of sailing gets added into OSRS. Oh, wow, this is super exciting. In fact, to celebrate today's occasion, I have a jar, and it's not full of dirt. It's actually filled of a bunch of comments that I saw on the social media pages for old school RuneScape. I bet a bunch of people are super excited when sailing finally releases to... Cancel sailing? Huh, okay, that must be a troll comment. I mean, obviously, there's got to be... Repoll?
Are you sure about that?
Okay, hold on a second. Repoll sailing. No, this can't be true. You guys got to be excited for this. What? Repoll Yeah, okay. You guys have probably seen the drama that has been happening online in regards to the new upcoming skill of sailing. So for today's video, I'm going to deep dive into why the community is currently behaving the way it is and hopefully give a brand new perspective or a different perspective as to how we should treat new features such as skills coming out to RuneScape, because it can actually be a thing that can strengthen the community and bring a lot of new players into the game. But how we react and what we put out there, things might change and we might not get new skills in the future. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. To start the There we go, that's much better. To start the video off, we gotta talk about old school RuneScape. What is it? It's a game that is based off of the 2007 version of RuneScape. And a lot of players have a lot of nostalgia when it comes to this title. They played it back in elementary school or middle school. For a lot of us, it's actually the first MMO that we got to explore and play on our computers because we could play it through a browser. So you can even play it off of a crappy family laptop or your grandma's PC, like you name it. You could play this video game anywhere. So yeah, this video game is very near and dear to a lot of people's hearts. And that's why Jagex is very careful with what kind of features get added into the game. In fact, if they want to add anything into the game, they actually run a poll to make sure that do players want this or not. And they got to make sure that they have a majority of players vote in favor of it before they decide on actually adding it into the game. It's a very smart way that Jagex knows the developer resources that they put into making new features. They know that players are going to react very positively, at least for the most part, when it gets added into the game. Now, originally, when they did polls back in the day, they said that there needs to be a 75% yes on a feature before it gets added into the game. Now, back in the day, they did pull new skills. Like they did try to get sailing in 2015, and well, it didn't hit that threshold of 75%, and we never ended up getting sailing back then. But in 2022, they did pull that, hey, do you guys want a new skill? Just a new skill in general. We don't know what kind of new skill it's gonna be, but do you want one? And a majority of the player base said, yes, we want one. Another thing that happened in 2022 is they changed how polling works. So instead of it being a 75% yes, now it's a 70% yes. All because they said majority of the player base doesn't vote in polling. And this doesn't shock me because, well, I work in the gaming industry and I know that a lot of developers actually spend a lot of time playtesting. Why do I know this? I worked at a company that primarily focused on playtesting. So I got to see a bunch of studios of all shapes and sizes run playtests on things either very early on in development or very late in development. And it's very interesting to see the feedback that they get and how quickly or how drastically the developers change things with video games. In fact, I've seen some playtests happen for games that they don't even release it anymore because they get feedback from players and they go, yikes, it's not worth it. So you might be thinking, well, how the heck are there a bunch of mean comments about sailing and Jagex is going to add it, right? It doesn't make any sense. Well, of course, they did go through the whole cycle of, should we add a new skill? They came up with a bunch of them. Shamanism, I forget the other one, but sailing was one of them. They had 3 skills that they proposed, and they pulled it numerous times. But of course, a lot of people are really persistent of trying to get sailing added to the game. Long story short, it was kind of like a meme skill that people kind of joked about online of, oh, what if we had sailing in the game? And there were a bunch of rumors and people used Photoshop to create, you know, fake things on the high scores to show that sailing's going to get added. And it was always just something that Jagex joked about, the players joked about, but now it could actually happen. And as time progressed in 2023, out of the 3 skills, sailing was the one that most players were voting for. So Jagex, in August of 2023, they ran a poll saying, hey, do you want sailing added to the game? This seems to be the one a lot of people are voting for, so is this the one you want? And of course, it got over 70%, just over 70%, so it can be added into the game. It's confirmed. So of course, since 2023 up until now, Jagex has been very transparent with where they're at in sailing. They've given development updates. They've actually had a couple times where we could play the betas, like the alpha and then the betas for sailing. And of course, players gave their opinion and what they feel and what they think. And it seemed like sailing was something a lot of players thought really, oh, this is going to be a super exciting skill. It's going to be really fun. And then it came out and people were like, that's sailing? Oh, it's not super exciting. Like, it's not the most adrenaline-filled skill. I thought it would be this and that. And of course, yeah, you're not going to tailor to all those people who voted yes. Like, the skill's going to develop into something that maybe you can write it down on paper. Hey, the skill's going to work like this. But when you play it, it's just a bit different. Game development is tricky is all I'm going to say. I can't even speak for myself because I don't develop games, but I just see how much work developers put in because I work in the gaming industry and I chat with gaming studios all the time about it. But now we're in a stage where we see the second stage of beta and a lot of players are really angry about it. You can just see the vocal majority of people commenting on every social media post that, you know, they're really upset with what sailing is. Now, of course, there is a large chunk of players that are really excited about sailing. I myself am really excited. I actually got to try it out during the beta period, the second one, and I didn't play a lot of it because I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't actually spend a lot of my time doing the beta or early access for things. I like to play something when it's live. And my guess is a majority of you probably react the same way. Let me ask you this. How many of you actually partook in the sailing for OSRS? You can leave a comment down below. How about the folks who watch my content for World of Warcraft? How many of you guys play the PTR of WoW to play the new patches that should come out in a couple of months? Maybe not all of you. What about the folks who watch my content for Guild Wars 2? Do you guys partake in the betas for the elite specs? I'm just showing you guys that there's many examples of a platform to try out new content early, but a lot of people just choose not to do it, or they do it for 5 or 10 minutes and they get burnt out. Now, of course, I can understand when you start the beta for sailing, you're like, wow, there's a giant quest line and a lot of text I gotta read before I can get access to this sailing skill. And yeah, like that's a very risky move for Jagex to do, but hey, if they want to do that, that's up to them. But of course, you guys are RuneScape players, okay? You've done many boring quests that are out there. I'm sure you can do a very quick one to get access to your sailing skill. Like, so okay, that's fine. But why are so many of you upset about this skill? It's kind of like a traversal skill. It allows you to access a lot of areas in the game, like different islands and stuff like that, through sailing. And sailing is not the most incredible gameplay. Like, you're clicking on things and moving around and oh, the wind goes through, so you gotta click on that to get a boost in your sails. And yeah, okay, I can understand it's not super impressive, but I do have to ask you guys, there's a lot of skills you guys have where you're chopping trees or burning logs. I just trained agility for a whole month. I went around in laps over and over and over and over and over again. This is a lot of the skills that are out there. They're very, I wouldn't say exciting. I'd actually say a majority of the skills in old school RuneScape are kind of boring, but that's okay. That's just the game that old school RuneScape is, you know. You don't main it on your main monitor per se, unless you're doing combat or, you know, clue scrolls or PvPing. If you're doing like these skills that are a bit more tame and chill and calm, you have it on your second monitor. You're listening to music, you're chatting with your homies in Discord. So like, that's what sailing to me feels like. Cool, it's gonna be a cool skill. I can chill. It's like kind of like a Minecraft vibe, so I'm going to different islands and stuff. I'm upgrading my ship and awesome. There's also these like PvP mechanics, which I haven't messed around with, so I don't have an opinion there. But my first thought is a lot of people say repull, oh, I don't like it because the skill is boring, it's not exciting. And I think, so all these other ones are super exciting? And I know for a majority of you, you have your favorite skills that are out there, but I just find it so funny. A lot of the talk of, I don't like sailing because it's boring. I'm just thinking, well, there's 23 other skills that you can pick from. You don't have to level up this one skill. And I know some of you who play this video game a lot and have 99s and everything, you might come to me and go, moopliss, I have to play this skill because I'm losing my max cape in the game. Okay, it is what it is. You either play sailing and get that 99. You did rune crafting and agility, so like you could probably do sailing too. It's probably going to be more exciting than those two skills at least. But hey, if you don't want to do it, you don't have to play old school RuneScape, bro. Other people say they want to repull on the skill because they want a different skill. Like they want shamanism or whatever the other one was. I really don't even know what the 3 were in particular, but I myself didn't play RuneScape back in the day, and I heard about news about a new skill getting added, and I literally bought a bond to log into the game and vote for these polls. Like, I partook in these polls to make sure there would be a new skill that got added. It didn't have to be sailing, just any of them. I think it's really exciting for a new skill to get added to the game. And here's what I'm going to share up front. I think adding a new skill is going to bring a lot of fresh air into old school RuneScape. Is the game going to be the same? I'm actually going to say yeah, for the most part. The market might change, right? Some of the prices for things might be different. I would say the same thing would happen if they added a new raid or new continent with new stuff there. The same will happen with a brand new skill. Is there going to be new players running around in new cosmetics and stuff? Well, yeah, because they leveled up that skill and maybe they have, I don't know, Captain's Hat, the new skill cape that you can get. Like, sure. A lot of players, the total level of what you have to get a max cape, yeah, that changes too. You have to level up sailing in order to get your max cape now. Like, big whoop. But hey, that's what a max cape is. A max cape is you level up every single skill and hey, it is what it is, bro. You got this. I believe in you. But then other people argue, okay, but wait a second, the 2007 version of this game, we're drifting even farther away from it, right? That nostalgic feel, it goes away when sailing gets added to the game. And I would argue that there are so many new updates into OSRS right now. There's like new bosses that were not available back in the day when you played the game in 2007, 2009. There's so many different ways you can even level up skills. Burning the logs for fire making. Like, I tried fire making the other day and I realized I can just throw logs into one single fire. Like, back in 2007, you had to click on every single log and like use the flint and steel or the tinderbox to light your logs. What I'm trying to tell you guys is OSRS is adapting. It's changing. Yes, it still has this nostalgic vibe. It still has these graphics that look like the game could exist on that old computer you used back in the day. But yeah, it is changing. It needs to change. It's an MMORPG. People run out of stuff to do in MMORPGs. Even though RuneScape takes a very long time to do all the quests, to max out all your skills, to maybe get all the pet drops and all that kind of stuff, some people don't want to do that. I look at all these skills and I think there's no way I'm going to train every single one up to 99. Farming out all the pets, forget it. But a new skill, trying out something that I could spend my time to passively level up, sure, yeah, I'm gonna try that out. Absolutely. And I think a lot of other new players are gonna be attracted to old school RuneScape when a brand new skill gets added. Maybe sailing's not your thing and you're not on board. You can share with Jagex the comments, repoll, or whatever it might be. Like, you're allowed to do that. But I do advise you guys just to be careful with how you give negative feedback. And I don't know, I don't speak on behalf of Jagex or anything, but I'm just putting myself in the shoes of a developer. If I'm a developer and I get so much backlash when I try to add the first brand new skill, that being sailing, I would probably go, you know what? We're gonna add this one in because it was polled. It actually got the numbers to get over the line, but I'm not gonna add any more skills because that's just too much of a headache. I can't make all the player base happy and I'm just gonna give up on it. And that would be kind of sad because I don't think sailing should be the last skill that OSRS sees. I think we should get a majority of other cool skills that people can think of and come up with. But how we react as a community is going to probably affect the people who make this game and what they're going to do in the future. Are they going to go through another 2.5 years of a brand new skill and people constantly shouting on social media, repoll, cancel it, I don't want it? There's a lot of movies that I like. Star Wars. I'm a huge fan of Star Wars. There's a lot of new Star Wars TV shows and movies that have come out. I haven't watched them all because maybe I'm just not interested. But I'm not going on the comment section going, oh, this is trash, I hate it. Like, I mean, I could do that. I just choose not to. I want to tell you guys that where you put your comments or where you say things, like, it does affect people. And I know it might feel really good to go, oh, you know, sailing, I'm not enjoying it. Blah, I'm gonna throw something really negative out there. You can do that. But like, what if this affects in the future of skills you actually want? I don't want this to hurt the chances of new skills coming out to the game. I am excited for sailing, and I don't think any differently from the people who leave negative comments. Like, you're free to have what you want. Like, here I am making a video talking about sailing, so like, you can speak how you want to. Like, that's totally up to you. But I think how we speak and how we put our words out there on the internet, it does have an effect as to what will get added and how developers feel about things. Because, hey, it's very easy to pick the safe route of, hey, we're just gonna add new bosses, a couple of new item drops. That's about it. Like, go have fun. And if you want RuneScape to be that for like 5 years or so, okay. But I really want new skills. I'm totally on board for it. I don't think sailing's gonna move RuneScape away. I don't think it's going to kill the game. I think it's actually going to bring a lot of fresh air into the game, and I think a lot of people are going to be really excited once the skill comes out. Let's all have patience. Let's see how sailing is. I think Jagex is really open to changing things up. If you don't enjoy sailing, they'll probably adapt it and change the skill over time to make it more exciting, whether it's the gameplay, whether it's earning XP, the activities for it, the rewards, I don't know, whatever it might be. I think giving our opinion on that side of things should be something we do instead of saying things like repull. I'm just curious though, in the comment section down below, how do you guys feel about sailing? Are you excited about this skill, or are you like, meh, I really don't care, I'm gonna keep on training my rune crafting? A special thanks to my Patreon supporters and YouTube members for supporting my content. If you want to have your very own MMORPG character appear on screen, consider joining my Patreon or becoming a YouTube member. You made it all the way to the end of the video. Congrats. Thank you very much for watching.